The story begins on Cybertron, where a fierce battle rages between the Autobots and Decepticons. As the fight intensifies, Optimus Prime can be seen blasting away his opponents and calling for assistance from B-127, a small Autobot. Together, they successfully defeat the Decepticons. Afterward, Optimus assigns B-127 a mission, and they head towards a launchpad where Optimus plans to send B-127 to Earth for refuge and to establish a base for the Autobots. However, the Decepticons catch up and attempt to destroy the launchpad, but B-127 manages to escape just in time while Optimus remains behind to continue fighting. The story then shifts to 1987 in the California town of Brighton Falls. Charlie Watson, the protagonist, wakes up to meet her family, her mother Sally's brother Otis, and stepfather Ron. Charlie is still struggling with her father's passing and has not fully accepted Ron as a member of her family. She goes to work at Carnival where her coworker Memo, who has a crush on her, tries to get her attention, but she ignores him. Later, Charlie accidentally spills lemonade on a guy from school and is mocked by the popular girls led by Tina. Back at home, Charlie attempts to fix a car that she had been working on with her father, but becomes discouraged and feels that she can't do it alone. In a training exercise where Sector 7 agents engage in a paintball, matching agent Jack Burns boasts about his victory to his peers just before they spot B-127 crashing to the ground. As B-127 rises to his feet, the agents pursue him, cornering him. B-127 pleads that he does not want to harm the agents. However, before they can react, a real threat arrives in the form of Blitzwing, which starts firing upon the agents and then chases. After B-127, Blitzwing catches up to him and demands that B-127 reveal the whereabouts of Optimus Prime and the other Autobots. B-127 remains defiant and says he will never betray his comrades, so Blitzwing brutally rips out his voice box and then drops him over a cliff. Glittering moves in for the kill, but B-127 manages to throw a grenade at him and uses his blaster to destroy the Decepticon. B-127 systems begin to shut down as his memory core fails just before he scans a Volkswagen Beetle and goes offline. Charlie goes to her Uncle Hank's garage to assist him when she sees a yellow Beetle. As it's her birthday, she asked for the car. When Hank refuses, Charlie offers to work at the garage for a year. Hank agrees and allows her to take the car home. Charlie drives the car home and hides it from her mother in the garage. Looking under the car, she notices something fall out and sees B-127's face. B-127 quickly takes on his Autobot form. Charlie assures him that she will not harm him and he trusts her since he can't speak anymore. He makes a buzzing sound, which Charlie says sounds like a bumblebee, so she decides to name him Bumblebee. However, Charlie activating Bumblebee also sends a signal across the galaxy. To Decepticons, Shatter and Dropkick are interrogating the Autobot Cliffjumper about Optimus' whereabouts. When they pick up these signals, Dropkick slices Cliffjumper in half as he follows Shatter to Earth. Somewhere else, a redneck couple, Roy and Umber, are arguing because Roy spent the money for the rent on a new car. They look up in the sky to see an object falling, and Roy tries to protect his car, but the object crashes into a truck. A second object falls, destroying Roy's car and the gas station behind it. Shatter and Dropkick emerges from the craters and stand before the couple. Dropkick liquidates Roy before the two head off on their mission. The following day, Charlie goes to the garage to see Bumblebee, but he is missing. She gets scared and asks Otis if someone took the car. Otis informs her that her mother took the car to take the dog to the vet doctor. Charlie rides her bike and chases after her. Moma's Bumblebee sticks his arm out and she orders him to stop. Charlie manages to stop Sally and makes up an excuse so that she can drive the car. At Sector 7 headquarters, a young Agent Simmons brings information to Burns about recent energy readings. Burns' all agents, along with Dr. Powell, go to a location where they meet Shatter and Dropkick. Shatter tells the agents that they are there for Bumblebee, claiming he is a fugitive and must be captured. Despite Burns' doubts, the agents agreed to help the Decepticons track Bumblebee down. Charlie takes Bee to the beach and tells him to maintain his disguise around anyone who is in her She takes him into the woods to try and fix something inside him, and she activates a message from Optimus which reminds Bee to help bring the Autobots to Earth and assist in the Cybertronian civil war. This triggers a flashback, when Bee was escaping Cybertron and watching Optimus fighting and getting ravaged. Charlie brings me home so she may assist him in communicating via the radio. She plays a few tapes, including the Smiths and Rick Astley, but Bee dismisses them. Outside, Memo attempts to knock on Charlie's door to finally speak with her, but he sees Bumblebee as an Autobot, which doesn't help when he changes into a vehicle right in front of him. Memo is told not to worry, and Charlie makes him vow to keep this information. Between them, the Sector 7 agents allow Shatter and Dropkick to use their superior technology to establish a linked information network. Birds is correct to distrust the Decepticons, and his commanding officer lets him do anything he wants with the bots once they discovered and caught Bumblebee while Charlie works on the other car. He watches The Breakfast Club and is amused by the iconic fist pump shot. He goes for another tape but snatches a cassette labeled Charlie's Dive Meet. Charlie becomes agitated and switches it off because it was the last time she saw her father who was filming it. She tells Bee that her father died of a heart attack and that she never got to say goodbye. She believes that repairing the automobile will be like keeping a piece of him, but she is unable to do it and feels useless. Charlie sobs as he consoles her and leave. They pass a cliffside where Charlie's classmates are gathered. The guy on whom she split a lemonade remembers her, but only because he knows her. As a diver, he challenges Charlie to leap from the cliff and into the ocean, but as she prepares, she backs out because it reminds her too much of her father. Tina walks to her car and mocks her, bringing up Charlie's father. Memo then suggests they take their revenge. Later that night, they walk by Tina's house and cover it with toilet paper. They then go fetch some eggs to throw at Tina's car. Bee manages to put all the eggs in the car, but he gets carried away and storms on Tina's car, destroying it completely. Charlie and Memo rush inside to hide Bee before Tina notices her car has been destroyed. While Charlie is at work, he winds himself inside the house, causing chaos, before he sticks his finger in an electrical socket, causing a power outage that blows up the transformers outside. This also triggers an energon signal, which Shatter and Dropkick pick up, alerting Sector 7 agents to Bee's whereabouts. Memo notices the chaos outside and contacts Charlie, urging her to return home. She returns home, sees the destruction Bee caused and scolds him, making him fearfully run away. Sally returns home to find the house in disarray and scolds Charlie for the mess, believing she's acting out. Charlie tells her that she hasn't been able to find happiness and move on since her father died. Unlike Sally with a heavy heart, Charlie leaves to find Bee, leaving Otis to cover for her. Meanwhile, the agents tracked down Charlie and Bee and follow them closely. Bee tries to defend Charlie, but Bee got kidnapped and taken to Sector 7, prompting Charlie and Memo to rescue him. Shatter and Dropkick, two Decepticons, are in search of an important message from Optimus. Upon discovering that the Autobots are headed to Earth, they contact other Decepticons to join them in the fight against their foes alongside humans. Dr. Powell overhears their plans and attempts to alert Burns, but is killed by Dropkick before he can. Before making contact, the Decepticons seem to murder Bumblebee as well. Charlie and Memo rushed and grabbed cables to give an electricity and bring Bee back. It doesn't work at first, but later Bee gets up and Charlie hugs him. The three go outdoors, only to be met by the agents. Burns instructs them to shoot Bee to contain him. When you realize this, Charlie is in danger, he gathers his power to battle the agents. He becomes enraged and fires back, badly hurting them until Charlie urges Bee to stop because she knows he is not a murderer. Bee backs down and sends Charlie to stop. The Decepticons' Memo wants to join her, but she instructs him to stay behind and kisses him on the cheek. Otis is obliged to inform Sally of Charlie's whereabouts, so she has Ron drive to find her. They end themselves in pursuit of Bee and Charlie, chased by other agents. Bee and Charlie manage to flee, but Ron avoids colliding and being hit by oncoming traffic. Otis enjoys the entire near-death experience until he pukes. Shatter and Dropkick plan to utilize a gadget atop a tower to summon the Decepticons while Bee battles Dropkick. Charlie heads up the tower to retrieve the device. The Decepticon attacks Bee with his weapons, but the Autobot snatches a chain and ties it around Dropkick. Bee rips Dropkick apart with one fast hug. Shatter then attempts to murder Charlie, but Bee intervenes to save her. During the turmoil, Burns tries to fly in his jet but is assaulted by Shatter. Bee catches his plane and saves Burns before he crashes. As Charlie removes the gadget from the tower, he battles Shatter. When it appears like Shatter has the upper hand, Bee fires a bomb that destroys a dam. Shatter is grabbed and held by Bee as a ship collides with them, shattering Shatter and sending Bee to the bottom of the sea. Charlie rushes into a system, Burns, catches them and lets them go, having gained respect for Bumblebee. Charlie transports Bee just outside San Francisco to say goodbye, knowing that Bee's fellow Autobots need him just as much as Charlie has people who meet her. She tearfully bids Bee farewell and he embraces her back. He then scans a Camaro and assumes its shape before fleeing. Charlie arrives home to see a gathering assembled in the aftermath of the events. She embraces Sally, expresses gratitude to Otis for informing his parents about her whereabouts, and respects Ron's memo, then joins her and wants to take her hand. But she declines because they aren't quite there yet. Optimist meets Bumblebee on Earth, where he reveals his commander his new name, while waiting for the other Autobots to arrive.